Hiya and welcome back to another one with me, Wayne, Yorkie, whatever you want to call me. This one is going to be a little different from my usual videos. I mean, obviously I'm trying to keep myself to just PS1, but I have rehoming all of my PS2, 3, 4 and 5 games now from this unit to another unit upstairs. And a few of you have mentioned you'd like to see what games I have got on these, on the rest of these systems, should I say. So I figured on this one, it might be, like I say, it might be a long one, and I'm going to just go through all these games because these won't be down here anymore. They'll be going on a different unit upstairs. So I might as well go through them. Some of you might want to see them. And my PS2 stuff, that is the extent of my PS2 collection. I know some of you might go, oh, why have you only got so few? My reasons for that is purely just that most of these games, with the exception of 4 maybe, I didn't really play games back then. When the PS2 came out, I turned 16, and in the turn of the millennium, I was partying, girls, as most teenage boys do. So I didn't really play many games other than, hangover days, I guess. But we'll just get into it anyway. Gran Turismo 4, quite possibly one of my most played games of all time. I believe most of all, if not all, are complete. A memory card from back in the day too, with all my data on there. An American copy of Wipeout Fusion. Don't ask me how I've got this. I think I picked it up at a car boot for 20p. But again, it's all complete. I don't even think I can play it on any of my PS2s. No, I don't think so. I don't think any of them have got chipped or anything. Well, hey-o. Max Payne 2. I played this literally for 10 minutes back in the day. I found it at a car boot sale in the summer, and I've kept it. Just 'cause maybe one day I will get around to playing it. I highly doubt it because of my obsession with PS1, but you never know, it's there, innit? Getaway 1 and Black Monday. These games were amazing for the time. Just running around London in fairly realistic style game at the time was something else for sure. And both of these have all the manuals and the maps / posters. I think they do. Yeah, they do. And a pink PS2 memory card for added measure. Prince of Persia trilogy on PS2. These were so good back then. I'm not sure, was it that one that had Godsmack tuned to it? This one, I believe, and in the emo prints, looks a bit like it. But they were good games. I enjoyed them. Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, fantastic game. I haven't played it for many years, but I've been playing one of the ones that are on PS4 and PS5. Evolution, I think it's Evolution 1, I think. I haven't played number 2 yet. Gran Turismo 3. Don't really need to say anything about that, but legendary Gran Turismo game. 4 is my personal favourite, but I know people have a preference for 3. The games that changed many people's outlook on what games could really be. The GTA series, especially the PS2 ones with them being 3D and such. I think all these, again, are all complete, but I don't think they have the maps. They don't. But this one has someone written all the cheats for GTA Vice City. And this looks really old paper. I've kept it in there just for, why not, really. Well, that's them. Burnout Revenge, legendary game. A lot of people prefer 3. I prefer that one. Personal opinions. Enthusia, a good rival to GT4 and 3. I don't really remember much of it. I can't even freaking get it. Camera, apologies. There we go. But that was a fantastic game. Really good rival to Gran Turismo. Not quite the rival, but it was still good nonetheless. And Soul Reaver 2. Soul Reaver 1 was fantastic. Excuse me. I've never finished it. Could never finish it. I don't know if it was the puzzles or I'm just a bit thick. But I could never finish that. But that is the extent of my PS2 collection, because I don't have much nostalgia for the system, and so therefore I don't have a lot of games on it. But I think that's not a bad little selection, really, minus the Wipeout one down there. But that is my PS2 selection. I've got quite a few PS3 and 4, so I'm just going to do my PS5 ones first. I don't really care for the modern stuff, so I don't have a lot of PS5 games, and I know there'll be people out there that have way more than I do, but it's not a competition, is it? Saints Row Collector's Edition, that's a recent pickup, as you may have saw in one of my older videos, or more recent videos should I say. Again, I only got this because it was cheap and it had the steelbook. I will never play it. What I played of it on the PS Plus or PlayStation Premium, whatever, I genuinely played about 5 minutes and I found the driving physics on it god awful. And it's the modern audience stuff. I can't vibe with that at all. So I didn't enjoy it. Quite possibly my favourite game series of all time is the Tomb Raider series, especially the classics. And this, I did buy it digitally when it came out, but I have to get the collector's stuff. I'm a Tomb Raider fan. They got the map book, a steel book, which is pretty sweet. I've not even opened it. Look, it's still sealed. But I've got it digitally, so that's how I play this. And I hope the new remaster gets a physical release also, so I can get this version of that. But we'll have to wait and see. Uncharted, what is it? Legacy of Thieves collection. I haven't played it because I've already played them before, but I got this dirt cheap at a car boot in the summer. I played the Uncharted games on the PS4 originally. I'm pretty sure I've not played them in the PS5 versions. Not really much need. You play them once, you've played them a million times. Again, another one I found dirt cheap, Last of Us Part 1. I played Last of Us back on PS3, so I don't need to play it again on 4 and 5. I just don't understand the obsession with these remasters of a game from not even that long ago, 10 years ago. So that's one anyway. One of my personal favourite games is SnowRunner. I absolutely love this game. It's slow paced as hell, and it's not really action. I'm a bit old these days for Call of Duty and FIFA. I don't have the reactions I used to, and I just can't be bothered to play those sort of games where you need to put in 30-40 hours a week in it just to progress through the battle passes and stuff. That's not a game to me, that's work. And gaming is fun for me, not, it's not a job. I paid a tenner for it. I paid a tenner for SnowRunner, and I love this game so much I got all the DLC for it. And if you've not played it, me and Donald Mackerel play it, and I highly recommend people try it at least. I think on Xbox it's on Game Pass, PC's probably the same. PlayStation I don't think it's on Plus, but it's probably a cheap find these days. The next one's Assassin's Creed Valhalla Gold Edition. My wife bought me this for my birthday when this first came out, and I have finished it and got the Platinum Trophy on it. I'll never get rid of it because my wife bought me it, and I'm just a bit of a nostalgic git that won't sell my games really. But it's just another Assassin's Creed game, so I don't really know what else to say. Dying Light 2. I don't know what to say about that game. I did not like it one bit. I preferred the first one. I don't know what to say. It's not as good. Dead Space, underrated. Very good game. The original one on PS3 was great. There's not really much difference in this one. There's a few minor differences, but I'm not in the mindset to go and get the platinum for this anymore. I can't be bothered to play those games where if you die, you lose all your progress and stuff. I'm not a Souls type player like that, but yeah. I don't know how to say this. Eiyuden, Chronicles 100 Heroes. That game anyway. There's the side of it, so you could probably read it yourself. Basically, the worst part of this is if you've played the Suikoden, I don't know how to pronounce these silly words, but it's basically a spiritual successor to that series, and it's really good if you like those 2.5D, 2D, 3D games. And it's a big ass role-playing game with over 100 characters to collect or recruit, whatever. I haven't finished it. I've only got about 6 hours into it, but I just don't have the time to dedicate to RPGs like that, really. Not when I'm preferring playing PS1 anyway. Next one is Back 4 Blood. I got the Steelbook version. The Steelbook looks cool. On there, it's all... I don't know if I'll be able to get that there. It's all 3D texture. But truth be told, it's all in here and everything. There's DLC codes and they're unused, so let me just cover them. But it's all in there. But again, I got this as a gift and I've never ever played it. There's not a mark on this book or anything. I've never played it because I think it was on PS Plus and I played it on there briefly. But again, it's a game to play online and stuff, and I just don't have time to play online gaming or get good at it. It is what it is. Expeditions, a mud runner game. Again, it's like SnowRunner. It's slow paced. You're going up mountains and through swampy grounds. Like even there's a picture of... God, where's my finger? There. Where you're going through deep mud and water. Slow paced. Not as good as SnowRunner, but fun nonetheless. And I paid £8 for that, and it only came out, I think, not even a year ago. So that's not too bad. This one was okay. I haven't finished this because it's just, I don't find playing PS5 enjoyable. I really don't. Maybe that's just because I'm enjoying the PS1 stuff and the older stuff more, but I don't know. I put about 6 or 7 hours into it and I've just not been back to it, so I feel like I probably should start it again because I don't remember anything of it. But I remember the character talking a lot when you're playing it, and it gets really monotonous and boring, especially when they start repeating the same lines, shooting at enemies, and he's like, yeah, every 5 seconds. Not for me. So now I'm going to go through this bag, good old banana bag, that is full of PS4 games, and these are all bagged because they're going upstairs and I'm not carrying them all in big stacks one at a time. So I put them all in a bag, but we'll go through what I've got if you're interested or not. Evil Within limited edition, and this is the biggest box limited edition of any game I've got. I'm not really into special editions and stuff, but this I got at a car boot. It's got the lenticular card and some booklet inside, a diary. Again, it's a game I suck at. I played it for about half an hour. I died multiple times and I just turned it off. I haven't been back. That's Rainbow Six Siege. Again, I've not played this one, but I got it because it's a steelbook. Again, that was a recent edition on a video recently. Final Fantasy 12 Remaster, Zodiac Age. I loved that. To me, that was the last good Final Fantasy when it came out on PS2. Didn't like 13 and its follow-ups. Never played 14. I didn't like 15, and I haven't played 16, so I can't really say too much for that. But I didn't like 15 and 13 at all. So to me, that was the last good one. But this one is my favourite out of them all. Was 10. 10-2 sucks, but 10 was fantastic. I'll just get a bunch of them out at a time here, so it saves me turning every 5 seconds. Alright, another steelbook, Death Stranding steelbook. Again, this was a cheap find at CX, I believe, but I can't bloody camera there. It's just got Sam Porter on the front there, but yeah, it's just, I've not played Death Stranding at all. Like I said, I haven't played many modern games. I'm just really not into it, but I'm collecting them, so maybe one day in the future I will. But I never pay big money for games like this, just because it's not because I'm tight or I'm a cheapskate. It's just if I find them at car boots or charity shops, I'll pick them up. But they're just more often than not, like games like, say, this next one, Crash Bandicoot. I loved the originals on PS1, and for some reason I prefer them on PS1. I don't know if it feels more difficult on PS4, I don't know. But again, this was a cheap car boot found. I paid £2 for that. Maybe little and I'll like it in the future, I don't know. But I don't like parting with games. I like just to keep them. So slate me as much as you like, I don't mind. BioShock the collection. This one I got super cheap because some of the, you see some of the paint on the front cardboard sleeves coming away. But I think I paid like £3 for this, and it's both games in there, all fully complete as it should. BioShock's a great series, especially the first two. Loved them. A sealed copy of Anthem. I found this in a charity shop for £1. I played the beta or alpha of this a while back. It seemed fun, but then I read the reviews afterwards and I've never bothered. And like I say, it's sealed and it'll stay that way. Don't even know if it's playable anymore with the servers. Let me know down below if they're still even open. Another one is Hitman Steelbook. Again, it's all like 3D printing there. All there as it should be. A cheap find from CEX, and I'm a sucker for a Steelbook, so that had to be got. This one was sent to me by Donald Mackerel on a recent trade we did. Mostly because my missus loves Harry Potter, so she'll probably play it one day. It was the Lego Harry Potter collection. I've got them now, so I don't really have any attraction to it, but it is what it is. And then I've got that, which was a recent charity shop find, dirt cheap, Diablo 3. I did try it recently. It's just not my thing. I don't quite know if I'm doing it wrong, but I just seem to be pressing a lot of buttons all the time. If that's how it's meant to be, I don't know. I don't even know if it's for me at all. I mean, a lot of you probably think I'm an idiot for having all these games when either I don't like them or don't care for them. But I have a hard time chucking things away or saying no to things if they're cheap. And maybe one day I might like it, or my missus or my kids might. We never know. Battlefield 1, fantastic game. I enjoyed it. Don't have Battlefield 5 though. I thought, is that the good one or is this one the good one? I'm so confused now. But yeah, I enjoyed that one. It was all right, but the multiplayer aspect, I kept getting my ass kicked on there. I'm not very good at online gaming these days. I'm gonna just go through these ones as they all come because they're just Assassin's Creed. Look, Odyssey, Origins, Unity, and Syndicate. I got all these for very cheap at a charity shop recently. I think I paid £1.20 or £1.50 each for these, and they were all on the shelf together. So I assume an Assassin's Creed fan donated them in, but they're all in relatively good condition, so they'll sit with me now. Helix 1 and 2. I haven't played 2. I played that one for a little while, but I feel like it needs a lot of time dedicating to it, and I don't have a lot of time spare. But I've got them both now, so I figured, what the hell, I'll play them eventually. What's next? Drive Club, great game, poor execution. I mean, the server issues it had were initially, and I think they're closed now, so I don't even know if you can even play this game. Is it a live servicey game? No idea. Dragon's Quest 11, Echoes of an Elusive Age. Excuse me. I got this just because at the time I'd finished The Witcher 3 and I wanted a new sort of RPG kick, but I couldn't get into the cartoony graphics on there. It was, I don't know. I'm a bit of a weirdo, so yeah, I got it cheap. I played an hour or so of it. Do I need to give more time to it? Probably. But hey-oh. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, rock solid, and I definitely did not give this anywhere near enough chance. I think I died 3 times in the first 20 minutes of me playing it in the wheelchair. I think it's this one. Where you're in a wheelchair, and I died loads. So I didn't play anymore. But I've got all these games as, rainy day games, I guess, so I can give them a chance. Vampire, I enjoyed this. For what it's worth, it's pretty basic and very repetitive towards the end, where you tend to just do more and more of the same thing. But it started out really well and it got really rubbish, and I got to the last boss and I can't beat that last boss at all. No matter what I do, I just keep getting beat by it, and I got ragey and just deleted it off my PlayStation. But the save data is there, so maybe I'll go back to it one day. But I enjoyed it for what it was. It started out, like I said, it started out really well and then went a bit downhill towards the latter half of the game. So look, Uncharted Collection. I don't know what them stickers say. Bargains with Josh. But yeah, it was. I like the first three, and it's the HD collection of them. I did buy this digitally when it first came out, and I got rid of all. I don't want to play. Oh, what an idiot! I don't want to buy digital games all the time. I prefer my games physically. But at the time, I was in a phase where I was going more towards digital because it was just easier, and it was far more lazy for me to just buy them digital. But yeah, now I'm going away from digital. So it's there. Doom, is this 2016? I believe so. I'll be honest, I've never played it. I haven't played a Doom game since Doom on the PS1. Final Doom, which I got recently, was the one I played. So slate me down there for not playing them, but I will get to it eventually. It's just I've got a lot of games to play. So we'll get a bunch more out. In fact, I'll just get all of these out now. And stick all of these ones back in the back. That'll kind of make some sort of sense. No, I'll do it in a bit. You don't want to see me doing that, do you? Grip. If you love Roll Cage of the PS1 era games, I loved them, and this is a fantastic game. Not quite as good as the Roll Cage series, but it's fun nonetheless, and I enjoyed it. I never got round to getting them the platinum trophy on it. I mean, I was a bit of a fiend for doing that for the longest time. I think I've got a good 160, 170 platinum trophies. So I went through a phase of trying to achieve them all in games. But I just couldn't be bothered after a while. I actually started buying games solely for getting the platinums, and I'd use a guide to get all the trophies in the most efficient way, and I wasn't enjoying my games as much as I was, so I stopped doing that for that reason. Red Dead 2, don't really need to say anything for this, do I? It's a fantastic game. Even today, it's for a PS4 game, it looks better than a lot of modern PS5 Series X games. Fantastic game. Ni no Kuni 2, I haven't played this. I got it ridiculously cheap. Again, I think from a car boot. Comes with all the postcardsy stuff. I think there's... No, that's just a leaflet. I thought it was stickers or something. But yeah, I've not played this. I got it just purely because it was cheap, and I've got the first one on PS3. I'll play it eventually. Greedfall, again, another cheap buy. It's an RPG from someone called Spiders. I think a company called Spiders. They make a lot of these sort of RPGs. I don't think it got good reviews, but it looked quite interesting to me, so I'm sure I'll give it a bash at some point. Strange Brigade. I enjoyed this game, I really did. It's like the spin-off from Sniper Elite, is it Zombie Army? Kind of like that, but with a Egyptian theme to it in the 1930s. That's it, 1930s Egypt. The announcer that talks when you're doing stuff in it, it's kind of funny. British as you like. Again, it was cheap and I enjoyed it. Again, another cheap one, Spyro. Who doesn't love Spyro? I mean, the originals back on the PS1 were big sellers and they were phenomenal for the time. And I have played this and I enjoyed it, but I'm not very good at platformers, and I died a few times on a Spyro game. I know I suck. Mudrunner, American Wilds. Now, see, these are my types of games where it's slow-paced and you just, look, log in, like pulling cargo from one place to another, driving through deep mud and slow motion. I'm sorry, but it's just a game I really enjoy. Mafia 3. I enjoyed the game for what it was. The missions were very repetitive, and the developers, is it Hangar 13 or 2K to blame for this? I blame Hangar 13, to be honest. But the trophies in it are bugged as hell. I tried to get the platinum on this, and you couldn't do it unless you did it in one sitting, complete the game in one sitting. But I tried that 3 times, and the game crashed on the very final mission every single time. So I gave up on that, and as a consequence, I have a bit of a hatred for it now. So we won't talk about that again. Lego Jurassic World, don't really like the Lego games. They're not for me. I'm not the target audience. But I love Jurassic Park. So that was a no-brainer, really, when I saw that. Again, cheap. Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider. I think that's it for the Tomb Raider games there. But I love the Tomb Raider series. Pretty sure I had the other one. Never mind, must not do. But I love the Tomb Raider games. These are not quite as good in the Survivor trilogy, as they call it. She's very whingy and whiny. I couldn't really vibe with it like the classics were just, here's what you do, get on with it. Risen, I didn't like this. I found it very bland, and maybe it's because I didn't know what to do. I know it's an RPG, but it's the controls and the combat seemed very archaic for me, and I died a few times. So I feel like, again, it's probably not for me. Resident Evil 2, don't need to say anything about that. It's not as good as the original PS1 game. Don't care what anybody says. In my mind, the PS1 classic is much better than this. Yes, this is better graphically, but I just feel the original has something. I just can't quite put my hands on it. And I didn't like the whole aspect of being chased by the Mr. X thing all the way through the game. I don't like being pressured when I'm playing a game. I like to take my time. And that just felt like when you're running away from him all the time, it's like pressure, pressure, pressure. You have to progress. Not for me. Fallout 76, I got this at launch. I was hella disappointed, and I haven't been back to it since. An online Fallout game had all the makings of being great, but holy hell, it's so bland. Not been back to it. Borderlands 3, I don't want to talk about that. I liked Borderlands 1 and 2. This one felt very modern audience-y. It's as much as I can say. This one, 2 Point Campus, never played it as it's still sealed. It says that I paid a tenner for it, but I didn't. When I went to buy this, it came scanned in at B&M for £1. Paid £1 for this, so I'm keeping it sealed for that reason. There's some special edition, enrollment edition. Is it one of them? Yeah, like 2 Point Hospital and stuff, which was basically theme park and theme hospital. I'll play the classics. There you go. There's the other Tomb Raider, the definitive edition. Whiny Lara Croft. I didn't like it. That was a recent charity shop find. Grand Ages Medieval. I've not played it yet, but it looks cool on the back. As you can see, the back there. And the receipt is in there, look still. And it's got a big, thick manual with the map. So I only kept it because it didn't trade in for anything. Another recent addition was the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. I loved the original Final Fantasies, and this was one of those games that when I saw it come out physical, I was never going to say no to it. Another game that's probably been on everything, including the smart fridge, Skyrim. I think I've got the ps5 upgrade as well. I'm not on physical though, but I played it, I finished it, I enjoyed it. Who has it? Who doesn't love Skyrim? But release number 6, please. Let's move on. Resident Evil Origins Collection. The first Resident Evil remake, what they did on this, I played on the GameCube, a friend of mine's back in the day, and I've still never played Zero. Well, I'm told Zero's not very good. Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. It's just what I was told. Kingdom Come Deliverance. The second one comes out soon. I don't know much about the sequel because I have tried to avoid it from spoilers and stuff. But this game, as Euro janky as it is, it's such a good game. I enjoyed it that much. I actually went and got the platinum for it, which was a big thing, really. 100 so hours. That's through COVID I did that, the lockdowns and stuff, so I had plenty of time on my hands. A game I haven't played since launch and won't play again is Killzone Shadowfall. Had decent graphics, but I remember playing it online very briefly. I kept getting my arse handed to me, so I haven't played it ever again. I think the servers for it are gone now anyway. Watch Dogs 2, I didn't like it. I liked the first one, but then I played this. I didn't like it at all. Maybe I should give it more of a chance, but I just couldn't get into the whole hacking is cool vibe that's going on there. Rory McIlroy Golf. It's golf. Yeah, I think it was 50p in a charity shop. So, yay. Last of Us 2 Steelbook with Ellie and Joel. This one was a car boot find. I paid £3 for this, and I only picked it up because of the Steelbook, because I actually had the standard edition of this, but I let that go once I got the Steelbook. Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition. Don't need to say anything about this game. Fantastic game. So much so that I platinumed it on PS4, and then when it came out on PS5, I platinumed it again. What a game. I hope number 4 is anywhere near as good as that. Deus Ex Mankind Divided, again, another Steelbook. This was super cheap, CEX buy. There's the back. Yeah, I think it was like £1.50, £1.50, yeah. Something daft like that, and as a Steelbook I thought it was silly to leave that behind. And I believe this is the last of my PS4 games, and it's in the worst condition case I've seen in a long time. Star Wars Battlefront 2. The only reason I've got this is because it came with my ps4, which is a Star Wars limited edition one, the one with Darth Vader on the front. Because I've got the controller for it here, which has seen better days. Where's the Star Wars controller there? So that is the end of my PS4 games. I can get these out of the way now. So if there's anyone still watching, I'm pushing 32 minutes now, and I've just done my PS2, 3 and 4. And now I've got my PS3. Oh, give me a minute, sorry. See, we don't do no edits here, it's all just raw. That's how we like it. So let me just get that lot out of the way. Right, I've got several stacks of PlayStation 3 here, and I've got another bag full. So we'll just go through the stacks first, and they can go down here on the floor. Look, there's one stack. So we'll just go through these one at a time. Metal Gear 4. It's Metal Gear. Mercenaries 2. I haven't played Metal Gear because it was an absolute painful experience of the loading screens. And what I did play, it was 5 minutes a game, cutscene, 1 minute a game, cutscene. So I lost interest in like Mercenaries. I enjoyed, but for some reason I stopped playing it back in the day in Call of Duty. That's why. And I haven't been back, so I will probably play all of these at some point. I am a little bit in two minds here now. I am obviously going for the full PS1 set, but I'm in a little bit of a position where I'm not sure if and when I complete the PS1 set, shall I go for the PS3 next? Because I have quite a bit of nostalgia for all this. Well, not nostalgia per se, but I missed a hell of a lot of games due to Call of Duty. So do I go for the full set on this, or do I just play the ones I want to play and shift some on for PS1 games? I really don't know. Keep or sell? Put your opinions and thoughts down below, what you think I should do. But we'll get on. Medal of Honor Warfighter and Medal of Honor. Not a patch on Call of Duty, but these actually had some legs in the fact that they were quite good for the time. Reskinned Battlefield, I remember it being called at one point. Max Payne 3, never played it. Again, this was a cheap find. Car boot, maybe. CEX, I don't know. But again, this is a game I will play one day. Most of my PS3 games, with the exception of maybe half a dozen, are all really, really cheap finds from car boots, charity shops. CEX, just picking them up for pennies. But Mafia 2, played that to death. The remake they did for the PS4, I actually platinumed it there. I don't think I platinumed it on the PS3. I can't remember. But that was a good game. Lord of the Rings Conquest, never played it. I'm not even sure if it's any good. It's EA and Pandemic, so they make the same ones from Mercenaries, so it might be good. Little Big Planet karting, I hated it. I'm not into karty games, and there was a lot of emphasis on building your own things. Little Big Planet was cutesy, I get it, but it was not. I'm not the audience for it. So I mean, it is what it is. With that one, not for me. Little Big Planet 2, Little Big Planet 1, again, cutesy platformery games. They were just not for me. I'm not that audience for those. So please don't think I'm slating things because I'm being one of those, because I'm not. XCOM, I thought I had the second one there. Great game, the original one on PS1. And I remembered playing it, and I got this, but if you're going to play an XCOM game, play the new ones. Don't play the PS1 version. It's not aged very well. WrestleMania. It's a wrestling game. Snooker. Again, this is my sort of game. Slow-paced these days. And you can't beat a bit of snooker. But again, a cheap find. I mean, it's 2007, so by no means the newest one, but it was cheap. Wipeout HD. I used to love Wipeout. This one I vividly remember paying $5 for this. So it's probably one of the more expensive ones I've bought as of now, currently. Wet had that from back in the day. This one I paid probably £1 for at a car boot sale, and I know this has gone up in value as of late. But I love the front cover, it's pretty cool. But again, I've not played this yet. I should probably play some of these games. I'm just hoarding for the sake of hoarding. Virtua Tennis, don't like it. Tennis is not my thing. Viking Battle of Asgard, never played it. Not heard good things. So it may be good, it may not be, but it is what it is. Vanquish, I didn't like this when it came out originally, but I only bought it because of the lenticular cardboard sleeve it came with it, and it was dirt cheap. I'm a sucker for PlayStation cardboard and steelbooks. Valkyrie Chronicles, again, I've never played it. Is it an RPG? I don't know. Tactic game? I don't know. Never played it. Uncharted 3. It's Uncharted. Uncharted 2. Steelbook. Again, another recent CEX. £1.50 for a steelbook in this condition as well. Silly not to have bought that. Uncharted 1. One of the worst games I've ever played. Turning Point, Fall of Liberty. I don't know what to say. I mean, obviously I don't put footage in my videos, but it's an awful, awful game. Splinter Cell Double Agent and Splinter Cell Blacklist. I've not played either of these. I can't. Stealth games I like, slow pace playing them. I don't know, I couldn't get, that one I didn't vibe with, and this one I've never played. I played this one back at launch. I've got vivid recollections for that front cover now. But yeah, you're in a prison on this one, aren't you? Yeah. Waffling. Here we go. About games I ain't got a bloody clue about. Vegas 2, Vegas 1. Not into those tactical type of games because you die super easy in them, and I'm not quick reactions these days. Hawks 1 and 2. I enjoyed those. I'm not sure which one it was I played last, but I really, really enjoyed it, and I'd like to try them again. So I probably will at some point. Again, super cheap finds. This one I didn't pay £9 for it, like it says on the front. Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. I don't have the first one. I don't even know if that came out on PS3. Not played them. Played the first one on 360 many, many years ago. Tom Clancy's End War. I believe this game had a bit of a gimmick where you use your voice is the weapon. You use a headset to talk to the game. But I remember playing it and playing with voice commands. And I remember the system that listened to your voice was terrible. So it was kind of pointless doing it because it never worked. But it's like a tactics sort of RTS game, is it? Long time ago I played it. Tomb Raider Underworld, janky as all hell, and the graphics on it are muddy as hell, like really blurry. I played it recently and it didn't play well, but I played it on this, so I don't know if it's this is at fault or it's just the game. But I didn't like this era of Tomb Raider at all. Tomb Raider Anniversary was okay, and that's about it. I'm a fan of the classics. So what can I say? So let's just move that stack. Another bunch here. These are Need for Speed The Run, Need for Speed Shift 2, Shift 1, Rivals, Most Wanted, and Hot Pursuit. I'm missing Carbon and Pro Street, I believe it is. It's just Need for Speed. Everybody knows Need for Speed. Come on. Shift 2 I didn't like because the game has a system in it where if you upgrade your car, the opponents upgrade the cars. But if you upgrade your car, it's like they go one above you, so you can't keep up. And I found it difficult. Shift 1 I really enjoyed. Shift 2, not so much. And these next ones are the Motorstorm trilogy, as it were. Great for its time, aged like milk. These two, much better, especially that one. I got through that lot fairly quick. So this is what I want to do. I'm pushing 40 minutes now, and I know some of you have probably switched off, got bored. It is what it is, I'm sorry, but I just wanted to do this video for those that I do give a monkeys about my other games. Lego Star Wars Force Unleashed, Lego Star Wars Complete Saga, Lego Star Wars Clone Wars, Lego the Movie, Lego Lord of the Rings, Lego Jurassic World again but on PS3, Lego Indiana Jones 2, Lego Harry Potter 1 to 4. So I think that's all my Lego games there. So I know I'm missing a few. Legendary I've not played. This is one of those games that are in my to play list, but finding time is not an easy task. But that is one I want to play. LA Noire. I'm gonna be honest. I've never played this game before. I've heard good things. Well, they remastered it on PS4, so it must be quite good. But it's me being honest. I've never played LA Noire. So should I play it? Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if I've played this one. I really don't know. I can't tell you because it doesn't look familiar. Killzone 2 and 3. Again, first person shooter was not my thing. But I remember enjoying Killzone 3. But I did play it in 3D back in the day. That might be why I haven't played it since. And Jericho. I remember playing this and thinking the graphics were really, really good. But I haven't played it since when it first came out in, 2007? It's a long time. The graphics have probably not aged well, but it's in my collection. It was a cheap one. No, there's a couple of games in this lot that I do really, really enjoy. Inversion, I enjoyed this. I mean, I know a lot of people didn't, and a lot of people have a bit of issue with that cover because it's that way, but not. But I enjoyed that. I'm probably going to play that one again. Infamous 1 and 2. I platinumed both of these. And anybody that goes for trophies in games, especially on these types, this one was painful finding all of those blast shards. I think there was, is it 250 or 350, and I spent the longest time looking for the last one. More hours than I care to admit. But these are well worthy of remasters, in my opinion, or remakes, or just a new entry in the series. But they are fantastic games. Another one I've never played, Il 2 Sturmovik, a fighter plane game. looks that way. Skies of Wartime Europe. Yeah, I was more of a fan of the Ace Combat series, if it's any good, versus that. Hunted the Demon's Forge. Never played this. Again, this was a cheap find. A couple of pounds, £1. But it's in my collection because it's one I've never played. Hitman Absolution. I'm not a fan of the Hitman games. Again, I'm not very good at stealth games. I just suck at them so bad. But again, I just keep adding games I haven't got. 'Cause I'm hoping one day I can play through all of my games. Probably never going to happen. Grid. There, I paid £2 for that. Yeah, £2. Grid. I don't think I've ever played that one. Gran Turismo 5 and 6. I love Gran Turismo. I'm more of that. I like those more sort of racing games more than the arcadey stuff. But 6 I platinumed. 5 I didn't. I enjoyed those for what they were, and even now 6 has aged quite well. Gran Turismo, Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5. What we don't know about GTA at this point ain't worth knowing. I don't have the DLC or special version of 4, but I will pick up the DLC disc version or whatever whenever I find it around. Fracture has some good parts in it. Again, it's aged like milk though, so it doesn't compare by modern games. This game has crazily gone up in price. There was only a few years back you couldn't give it away. Excuse me. But I really enjoyed this game. Folklore. In fact, I'm going to go and play this game again this week. But it's gone up in price a lot lately, and it's got the gimmick of using the remote motion controls. But I remember enjoying it, so I will give that a go again. And again, games that didn't vibe with me, but I've got them anyway. Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, and Lightning Returns 13-3, is it? I don't know. But I do aim to give these another fair shake again, now that I've got all 3 together. I will give them a go eventually, but finding time in all this lot's going to be a bit of a task, I guess. 10 and 10-2 HD remaster, and I've got the PS4 HD remaster. So yeah, I've just got it, because I've got it, obviously. Fight Night Round 4. I haven't played this one, but I remember loving Fight Night Round 3, which I don't have. So we'll probably look for that one again. Ferrari Challenge. I haven't played that for a long time, but I really enjoyed this. And I enjoyed the other one, is it Supercar Challenge. It was just something different. I was going through a racing game phase. Fear 3. I love the Fear games. They're really, really good, especially the shotguns in them games. Just disintegrating the enemies. It was so much fun. But move them out of the way. So I've got another stack to slide across here. There's another bunch of PS3 stuff. There is some absolute trash in here, so apologies. NHL 11. It was 10 pence in the charity shop. Can't leave that behind. XCOM Enemy Within. I've not played this one. Is it any different from Enemy Unknown? It says something as a standalone expansion, so don't know. Tomb Raider, again, not the good one. Time Shift. I don't know anything about this, but it looks intriguing. About slowing, stopping, and reversing time. That was a good system in the Prince of Persia games, so I'd be intrigued to play that one. Time Crisis Raising Storm. I haven't got the gun or a PlayStation Move thing, so I don't know if you can play it with the controller or not. But I'm not vibed for that. I prefer the old PS1 version of it, and I've got the G-Con down there, that box there, if you might not be able to see it with them in the way. Absolute shocking game. I used to love The Walking Dead before they milked it to an inch of its life, but this is abysmal. You get surrounded by zombies and it's just move the analog stick, press R2, grab, move the analog stick, press R2. Glitchy mess, horrendous. Sims 3, I paid 20p for it. I don't like these games at all. It's just filling out the collection at this point. Saboteur, I love this game. The black and white world you play in until you liberate the areas and then it becomes colour. It's amazing. But I don't know if my PS3's got an issue or it's just this game on PS3, but it felt hella frame dropping, like between literally you drive in the car and you turn a corner and then you get slow down and then frames jumping around. I don't know if that's my PS3 or this version of it, but what I got to play before that started doing my head in, I really enjoyed. Orange Box, what a game. Probably one of the best value for money game collections there is. I mean, Portal's great, Half-Life's great. Team Fortress I never got to play because it never seemed to ever load into it for me when I tried. But it's such a great game. The Last of Us, this is an American copy. Doesn't matter because PS3's region free anyway. But again, this was a really, really cheap find at a charity shop. Test Drive Unlimited, never played it. I got it because it was cheap and I like racing games, so I'll play it eventually. Syndicate, I know nothing of this apart from I know it's got dubstep soundtrack to it. Probably won't play it purely because I don't like dubstep, but it looked intriguing enough for what the very low price of £1, I think, something stupid I paid for it. Stranglehold. Now this game and Wet apparently are quite similar in the way the gun combat is, but it's a John Woo game. I never got to play it back in the day, so it's just a game that I've added purely for one day I'll play it. Star Wars Force Unleashed 1 and 2. I played Force Unleashed 1, but I'm told 2 is better. I think I played them recently on PlayStation Plus streaming. I will get back into those. Split Second, what a game. The destroying the areas and bringing down planes and stuff. I really enjoyed this game and I did finish it, but I never got the platinum to it because there was time trials in it, and time trial stuff I'm not much good at. Spec Ops: The Line, what a game that is. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's not very good. And yeah, it might not be graphically and stuff, but the story in this and the are you a good guy or a bad guy in the war and everything sort of vibe, it's really good. I enjoyed it. And I highly recommend people go out there and find a copy while it's fairly cheap at the minute. The price has come down again. Space Marine, I've had this for years. I've never played it. I've watched it played on YouTube videos. But the fact that this game went crazy prices when the new one came out, and I've had loads of copies that I've found that I've traded in, so like I say, I've never played it. This is a disgusting case. It looks like it's been in a, you might not be able to make it out, but it's bashed and it's all yellow in. So I need to get a new case for that. Sniper Ghost Warrior. Never played it. At this point, you're probably thinking you've got a lot of stuff you don't play. And that's true, I do, because I play this. Skate 3 and Skate 2, I don't have number 1, but damn, these games were hard. That's as much as I remember. I played number 1, but not these two. So, again, playing more games that I haven't played. Singularity, I was recommended to pick this up when I saw it in the shop, and I think I only paid £3 for it back then. And I believe this is one of those games people say deserves a remaster. But I really like the look of it, and the videos I've seen of it looks quite fun, so I'll probably play it at some point. PS3 version of Shadow of Mordor, I don't know if this runs very well at all, but I've played it on PS4. I platinumed it on PS4 and it was great on PS4, and the sequel was pretty fun too. But PS3, I didn't even know it was out on PS3 until I found it. Sega Rally, or Sega Rally Revo as people call it. I really enjoyed this. I like the arcadey part of Sega Rally. Rally games, I like arcadey. Racing, track racing games, I like simulation-y, if you know what I mean. I don't like the realistic style rally because, like, of dirt, for example, because I'm just not very good at it. Risen 2 and Risen 3. I've not played these, but I played the first one, and I did plan to play Risen 1, 2 and 3, but apparently they don't really follow on. And that one's a pirate one, but apparently it's not very good. But I was intrigued by, I think it was Assassin's Creed Black Flag that set me off with the intrigue for the pirate theme. But I've just not got around to playing them. This is hella. This is a turd in a plastic box. It's just not a very good game, and yeah, I don't even know why I've still got it. Resident Evil 6 Steelbook and Slip. That's an absolute shocking game. I didn't like 5 all that much, but I platinumed that anyway because it was a co-op fun game. 6 felt like it went on for way too long. I liked Leon's campaign. The rest was just utter bilge. But I prefer the Resident Evils of old, the classic PS1. Well, here we go. Resi 5. I did complete this, like I said, got platinum in it. This is my original copy from launch, well, from when the gold version came out, whenever that was. But I platinumed it, but I never bothered with the DLC stuff. But again, it's just I don't think I could go back to that now. I really don't. Resistance 1, 2, and 3. My favourite of the series. The multiplayer on that one was great, but a grind. This one was just good at the time because it triggered a lot of people because it was set in, I think it was Manchester, and it triggered a lot of people because you were shooting monsters in a church, and it triggered people back then. A load of old kerfuffle for nothing. Red Faction Guerrilla, I enjoyed that. Just destroying stuff with a hammer was great. And then I've got Armageddon with the lenticular cover. I don't know if is it 3D. Yeah, it's like a 3D effect. But Armageddon was quite fun actually. It's not as good as Guerrilla. But now I'm gonna move all of these because I've got another great big bag of PS3 stuff to go through. So I hope if anyone is even still watching this at this point that you don't think I'm an idiot just for doing this video in a wanna or for not splitting it, but because I'm a PS1 channel, I just didn't really want to long out the videos because I figured people would be tuning in for the PS1 stuff more than else. Well, here we go. It's a stupidly big bag full of PS3 games. Alright, so we've got a fair bloody lot here. I will try and go through these super quick because I don't want to rack this video into bloody 5 hours or something stupid. Let's just get a bunch out. There we go. Jesus Christ. We'll do it this way. Jesus. I'm out of shape. Guitar Hero World Tour, Guitar Hero Legends of Rock. I can't play Guitar Hero games, I've got no rhythm. I can play them on the easiest setting. But which Guitar Hero is it that has the Through the Fire and the Flames on it? I think, is it number 3? I don't even know who I'm looking for. I don't even know who performs that song. Dragon Force. Anyway, I can't even finish that song on the easiest setting, so I suck at those games. Saints Row 2, I've got it because it was cheap. I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. Poor man's Grand Theft Auto to me. Again, another cheap American copy of Plants vs. Zombies. I never played it. I played the original Plants vs. Zombies and I loved that just because it was a chill game. Great Battles Medieval, that's the one, sorry. Not played it. It was cheap. More than anything, it's just a shelf filler. Ni no Kuni. I played this for a while when it first came out. I didn't get into it on the first time. Then I tried it again and I got into it, but for some reason I stopped playing it. And I haven't got around to playing it to completion. Another Need for Speed. There we go. There's Undercover. Need for Speed. Battlefield. FIFA. As you can see here, I've got 9, 11, 13, 15, 16. I went through a phase of miss a year, buy a year, miss a year, buy a year. It's just football, isn't it? They're all the same every single year. There's nothing different. Angry Birds Star Wars. That was a freebie from a charity shop because I bought a bunch and they were like, oh, you might as well take this one. I didn't really want it, but I got it for nothing. Mind Jack. I believe that's a game. Yeah, I remember playing this where you take over the mind of absolutely anybody. Great in theory. Poor as hell in practice. It wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy it. Red Dead Undead and Red Dead 1. Don't need to say anything about Red Dead. If you haven't played Red Dead, go play Red Dead. Rage. I enjoyed this for what it was at the time. It was very grey and muddy looking. They call it the piss filter era of PS3 games. That was the only problem with me. It was very yellow and brown. Quantum of Solace, basically Call of Duty reskinned with Bond. But I had a blast playing the online multiplayer of this back then, and I even platinumed it. Sad, I know. Prototype 2, I bought this because it was a slipcover version, and it was ridiculously cheap, and I really like that embossed look slip. There we go, the slipcover there. I played the first one, I liked it, but it came out around the time as one of the Infamous games, and I felt like it was like kind of an Infamous ripoff. But I am told this one's good, so I will probably give it a go at some point. Portal 2, fantastic game. I should probably play it again, really. It's been a long time since I played it. I don't remember a massive amount about it. The Operation Flashpoint games. Really enjoyed that one. Played it to completion and platinum that one. That one was very American military stuff, Afghanistan and China. I enjoyed it, but I don't think I completed it. It was very bro game, if I remember rightly. Now, there's no point in showing you the covers of these. Everybody knows what the Assassin's Creed series looks like there. That's all of them as far as I'm aware, apart from Rogue, which is... There we go. Assassin's Creed's on PS3. It's all of them. I played Rogue recently and I really enjoyed it. Black Flag's my favourite though. Asura's Wrath, that was the recent edition on one of my recent videos. I paid £30 for that. It's worth like £65 now for some crazy reason. But I've never played it. Apparently this is shocking, but I really enjoyed the amount of game I played on it. It's, you know, more sort of my type of game. It's from Obsidian as well, Alpha Protocol. I did play that and I stopped for whatever reason, so I will probably go through that again at some point. Bioshock Infinite, Bioshock 2, and Bioshock 1 with another slipcover. I'm a sucker for a bit of cardboard. It just looks pretty cool. Well, those two are my favourites. I didn't like Infinite anywhere near as much. Would it be wrong for me to say I liked Bioshock 2? I think maybe a bit more than one. I don't know. Bionic Commando, never played it. It was a cheap buy. It looks interesting enough. It will go in the backlog list. This game I really enjoyed. I stopped playing it for whatever reason, and I am definitely going to go back to this, and that's Binary Domain. I feel this is one of those games that's not enough people talk about. Some people might say it's not very good, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. And it's basically shooting robots. Machine age or something has begun. Like a Terminator destroying type of game. I loved it. I might be in the minority there. Let's get some more out. See, a lot of these are not in any particular order because of the way I'm pulling them out. So if they don't come across as in the right order, I'm sorry. It's a lot to deal with in this small seating area I've got. Darkness and Darkness 2. I didn't finish this one, but I enjoyed it. But I played that recently on PS Plus, and it was okay. I enjoyed it. I like the whole shooting the lights out part of it to hide yourself and stuff. It was pretty cool. Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. I paid £2 for that. You might be able to make it out. I haven't got that label off. Not a clue what I paid for that one. £3. There we go. £3. Yeah, I've not played these. The only Dragon Age game I've played was Inquisition. It was okay. I'm told Origins is the best one, so I may go back and play that at some point. I'm told 2 is rubbish, not to bother. But it's an RPG game I haven't got much time for. But the series, from what I've read, is dead due to the absolute failure of the newest one, a modern audience game. Works well, doesn't it? Dishonored Game of the Year edition. I've not played much of this. I believe I played the first hour or two. I enjoyed it. It feels a bit like Bioshock in a way. I enjoyed it, so I probably will go back to that at some point. But I think it's on PS4, so I might play that on there. Dead Space. Oh God, have I got Dead Space 2 and 3? Yeah, see, it's all mixed up here. Excuse me. Dead Space 2 and 3. Dead Space 1's fantastic. Dead Space 2 is excellent. Dead Space 3 is utter trash. The story doesn't make much sense from what I got the gist of, if you play it single player, because the co-op player that is meant to be played co-op, and then the second player appears and then disappears over a cutscene, and it was full of microtransactions, so I didn't enjoy it. Black Site, Area 51 or whatever it's called, not played it. It's on the backlist. Backlog, that's the word. Dead Rising 2. I really enjoyed the first one, and I never played this one, but this was again a really cheap edition. And the first one was hard, I found. I died a lot. Dead Island Riptide. I think I've got the first one. It's probably not here somewhere. Oh, it's here. Dead Island 1 and Riptide. I platinumed both of these on the PS4. Fun games for the time. The 4-player co-op aspect I enjoyed the most out of it all. Alien Isolation on PS3. If you're going to play this game, play it on PS4, PC, Series, Xbox, whatever. Don't play it on PS3 because the loading times in it, like when you open doors, the additional loading the game requires, it matters in the game. Like you could end up dying to the loading taking longer than it needs to and the alien catching you. I tried it recently and it's nowhere near as good as the PS4 version. Darksiders 2, not a clue, never played it. Castlevania, not a clue, never played it, but I'm told it's a good game. Jason of Command and Console mentioned this recently. It looked interesting enough on his video there, so I'll probably play that at some point. And here we go. Call of Duty's. This one here, Modern Warfare 2, is responsible for the reason why I never played half of these games, or a vast majority of these games. I don't have Modern Warfare 1 though, for some reason. But yeah, I spent so much time playing this. My game hours are quite embarrassing how much hours are in there. Just every time I was home, Call of Duty, nothing else. Dark Void kind of gives me a Rocketeer vibe, a movie from the 90s called The Rocketeer. I haven't played it, but it was cheap. Excuse me. Apologies, I need to have a drink here. Well, yeah, it was a cheap edition anyway. Excellent racing game, Blur. I highly recommend anybody who's never played this to pick it up and give it a go. It's really good. It's kind of like, gives me Mario Kart vibes, power-ups, but with real cars. It was driving around in like Ford GTs and BMWs, look like the BMW there, firing missiles at each other. It was quite fun. Dark Sector, never played it, but it was a cheap edition. Apparently it's a hidden gem, but no games hidden, really, if they're available. Damnation, not a clue about any of this. I believe people called it some steampunky game. I know nothing about it. I'm not gonna research beforehand. I like to find out about a game off my own back. I don't need to use Google or the internet to tell me whether a game's good or not. Dante's Inferno, that was a recent charity shop find. Apparently someone mentioned in the comments it's a bit like a God of War style clone. Don't know, I've not played it yet. Crisis 3, I've never played number 3, but I platinumed the first one. I played number 2. I tried to platinum that, but there was a glitch many years ago with one of the online trophies about dedication, where you play it and then play it again 6 months later. Apparently there was a glitch there, and I never got that trophy, so I gave up on it. So I never played 3 as a consequence. Excuse me. Condemned 2, I've never played it. I've been told not to, so I haven't. Call of Juarez, The Cartel. Again, I've not played it, but this is a game that I wanted to play, so I will probably play it at some point. Call of Duty 3. Classic game. That was a recent addition from a charity shop again. Literally £2 buy. The Bureau XCOM Declassified with this weird slipcover with the black bits on it. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this. It's not as good as the XCOM games. It's a bit third-person shootery, I think, if I remember rightly. It felt really janky when I played it, and I couldn't get on with it. Burnout Paradise, the Ultimate box, the one. This game was so much fun when it first came out, the original, before all the DLC came out. I remember playing it online, and you could take if you had the camera, it'd take pictures, which would send to the people that you crashed into, or they could just send to you if they crashed into you. The amount of moony bum pictures and, you know, the weird types of pictures people used to send back then. Mostly pictures of each of us asses, as you do. Brutal Legend. I've never played this, and I'm going to be honest with you now. The reason I haven't played this is because it's got Jack Black in it, and I'm not a big fan of Jack Black. Maybe I should give it a go. Blame Jack Black from the reasons why I haven't. Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway. I have not played this, and I really want to play this. I like World War II era games, and apparently it's a lot more tactical than the likes of Call of Duty, so I probably will play this very soon. Bourne Conspiracy, I know nothing of it. It was cheap. Borderlands, the pre-sequel. I platinumed this recently on the ps4 version from the Handsome Jack collection, I believe. I enjoyed it way more than I should have done. So not a lot of people have a lot of love for the pre-sequel. Borderlands 2 with Cardboard Slip. Again, I went through a phase of trying to platinum every single Borderlands release. I platinumed all of them apart from that absolute god-awful Tiny Tina one. Tiny Tina Wonderlands, the newest one. It's so bad. But I did the Tiny Tina's Dragon's Keep. I platinumed that one. So, too much time on my hands, I guess. Start getting some more out here. This is the last lot that I'm going to go through. So, for anyone that's still watching after an hour and 15 minutes, consider this the last stretch. Right, the final stretch is here. This is the last lot. Dirt 3, the only game I have in the platinum format. I don't care on PS3 if it's platinum, essentials, black label, whatever you want to call it. It's still a game to me. I only have this obsession with no platinums when it comes to the PS1, because the platinum cases do look god awful, but on PS3 it doesn't really matter because they're all different anyway. Like, none of these here, for example, are platinum, and they all look different, but it upsets the uniformity on PS1. Yes. Dirt 3, great game. Another game I haven't played is Beyond Two Souls. Ellen Page, who's now Elliot Page, I believe, and Willem Dafoe. It looks really good, but it's from the makers of Heavy Rain, and Heavy Rain, there was is it Sean or Jason, where he shouts a million times. I saw that when my friend was playing it, and I couldn't get into it after that point. Couldn't take it seriously, and as a consequence, I've not played this. So maybe I should. Game of Thrones, that was recent edition. I remember this being awful, but I don't care. It's another game to my collection. Sega Mega Drive, again, that was another recent one. Oh, God, apologies. What's not to love about the old Mega Drive games? Streets of Rage for me is an all-time favourite. Kane and Lynch, recent edition. I didn't like it. It was awful. SOCOM 4. I remember I really enjoyed the single-player aspect of this. But this, again, this is the American version. This is recent edition. I got from Donald Mackerel. And I did like that game. And again, another one from Donald was Metal Gear HD Collection. Metal Gears, especially 3 was great. 2 was a little weird. And I've never played the Peace Walker one. Got it to play it anytime now, I guess. Tiger Woods recent edition, but I only bought this because of the slip. Again, it's just golf, and I'm a bit obsessed with PlayStation Cardboard. Fallout New Vegas, not the Ultimate Edition though. I don't know if it's my PS3, but I played this a lot recently, or tried to, and it just kept crashing. It was in like the first hour of the actual game, going from one place to another, and it just kept freezing, and then not loading or anything, so I had to turn the PlayStation off, on again. So I could never play it, and I've never completed it as a consequence. Far Cry 2, really ahead of its time, to be honest, where you set fire to things and the fire spreads. The only problem I had with this is you destroy everything on the outpost. You literally go 50 yards down the road and turn around, and all the enemies have respawned at the outpost. That put me off playing it. Respawning enemies drove me mad. So I've never finished that as a consequence. Far Cry 3. Fantastic game. Quite possibly the best Far Cry game there is in my mind anyway. And that guy there on the front was a great antagonist. But the worst part is he's not the end guy, which is a shame. It goes into some other aspect after that. But I'll play that a million times. I love that game. This was a cheap find. I bought it just because, like I say, it was cheap, 50p. It's Fast and the Furious Showdown. The movies have been terrible since the first one. The first one was good back in the 90s. The rest have been awful. Let's go to space in a car. Fast and Furious. I'm so sorry. Dry throat here. Here it is, the rest of them. Fear 1 and 2. This one, that started it all, great. But it plays much better on the Xbox 360 for some reason. But again, using the shotgun to kill the enemies with slow motion, just blood splatter everywhere. It was great. And the ghosty girl there, it was like very Ring, Japanese sort of style, even though it wasn't Japanese, but I would imagine she's, I can't think of the words, but they took that idea and went with it. The Club, I don't know anything about this game at all. It was £1, and I'll buy any game I don't already own for £1. Why not? Another copy of Red Dead, but this one's the Game of the Year edition. I don't know if it's worth keeping this version over the other two, or the other two over this one, or just the collector in me wants to have all the variations, I guess. Well, this is the final stack. So we're pushing in now. We'll probably get an hour and a half out of this video. Deus Ex Human Revolution. I'll be honest, I know a lot of people don't like this game, but I loved it. It played well for me and I enjoyed it. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. I've never played it. It was cheap. And again, it's one of those games where you see it for £1, you pick it up. Unless it's a FIFA game or a sports game or a Call of Duty game. What's the other ones that are everywhere? The Just Dance or the Mel B's Keep Fit ones. I won't touch those, but anything else I'll pick up. These games, surely they're worth £1 any day. Driver San Francisco. I played this a bit recently, but it crashed on me. So I definitely, at this point, I'm actually thinking it's probably is my PS3 that's a bit on its way out. But I enjoyed what I played. So I'm keen to give that another go. Oblivion, I'm going to be honest here and say I've never played this game. And this is the one that's the Game of the Year edition that comes with all the DLC. I should probably give it a go because I really enjoyed Skyrim. And the fact that I enjoyed Skyrim, will I enjoy this one? Or is this one a bit too, what's the words, past its best? Does it still hold up? I don't know. I mean, what's the install 5 gig? It's really not that big, so it won't take long to start. Should I play it? The biggest thing that puts me off is Ubisoft there. I didn't know that had Ubisoft involved. Enslaved Odyssey to the West. I really enjoyed this game. I know it's a different take on the Chinese story of the journey to the West, post-apocalyptic world, but I enjoyed this game. Really, really good game. Not played this. Facebreaker. This was cheap. I bought it purely because I wanted the case at the time, because as you can see I swapped a case with a different game. There you go, £1. Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition. Now this worked fine when I played this, no dramas with crashing or anything, and I actually platinumed this one. Don't know, I enjoyed it, but I know a lot of people don't like it for whatever reason. I kind of like the Fallout games, to be honest. Battlefield Bad Company and Bad Company 2. I played these recently, but only the story. The single player aspects, the online is gone. I played that online briefly back in the day, but it was more slower paced and a bit more like the guns had weight and stuff than Call of Duty. And it's not like you can run around like on this like you could on Call of Duty, and I just kept dying loads. And this one, I remember the 1943 Battlefield. I played that a lot online. I was never very good at that either, but I enjoyed it for what it was. You can probably come across as I'm not very good at games, but I have my own type of games I enjoy. So let's just get on with these last dozen or so. International cricket, again, cheap, don't care. Cricket, I'd rather watch paint dry. Vancouver 2010, I've never played it, but it was cheap. Maybe this will get expensive like the London one did recently. Again, I don't know. Jonah Lomu, rugby. I'm not a rugby fan, really, but that was cheap. And in that vein, I've got Rugby World Cup 2011 as well. Again, I'm not really a massive fan of rugby. I think there's too many rules for me to follow, to be honest. But they were cheap and they're in the collection now, so it is what it is. Mag, a game well ahead of its time. Literally no point me having this now because it's an online game. I don't think it's got a single player aspect. It doesn't. It's 2 to 256 players, but the servers for this closed a long time ago. So this is just, if anything, the box is worth more than anything else. Just a paperweight. Lego Rock Band. I'm not a musical game kind of guy, nor really that much for the Lego games, like, even though I've got loads of them. But it was cheap. No intention of ever playing it, by the way. Dishonored, I don't have any intention of playing that because I've got the Game of the Year edition. I should probably sell it, but I get like 50 pence for it. It's just, at this point, it's not worth it. Mass Effect 2 and 3. I don't have number 1. I do want to get the trilogy pack. So I will shift these ones on eventually when I do. But I recently platinumed all 3 of the Mass Effect games on the Legendary Edition, I want to say. So good. Except that one. Number 1 and 2 were great. The last 2 games, Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. I'm sorry there weren't any better games to end on, but I just went through this lot with no real order, as it were. But anyway, that is the extent of my PS2, 3, 4 and 5 collection as it currently sits. So for the fact that I've dragged this on for an hour and 25 minutes, I am so sorry to anybody that watches this from beginning to end. I probably should have broken this up on multiple videos, done ps2, 3, 4, and 5, I guess. I don't know, but I just wanted to get this out of the way more than anything, because I know a few of you out there that watch my stuff wanted to see what I had, so I figured I might as well show you this. But at the same time, I just wanted to reiterate that the bulk of my content will be PS1 stuff. It's where my heart for gaming is on the PS1, and I want to complete the whole set. I want to get every single PAL PS1 UK release there ever was, and I'm a little over halfway now. I believe I have around 600-ish more games to get the full set. And if you've got to this point, I hope you stay around to watch me get all these, because I will be videoing every single edition of PS1 going forward. And I hope you join me to watch me make a fool of myself talking to a camera when I'm on my own in the house, and spending more and more money on old games. I'm just another bloke from Yorkshire, but this one spends his money on games. So thank you very much for watching, if you've watched this far. Yeah, and normal service will resume from my next video, because I have a parcel that's already here from a subscriber that sorted me out some games, and I have 6 parcels from CEX arriving in my by the time I do my next video. So I hope you stick around, and I hope I haven't bored anyone to tears here. But like I said, this was a long one, I know, and I am sorry. But at least everything after the PS1 is done now. If I get any more additions, they'll be in the videos as and when they happen. But anyway, enough of me waffling. Thank you very, very much for being willing to sit and watch all this, or fall asleep to this. And I'll catch you in the next one.